Thank you for viewing the first video in Daisy's Looker Studio tutorial series. This video provides an overview of Looker Studio, including its purpose and a description of its main features. We will also show you how Looker Studio can be used to help IDEA Part C and Part B 619 programs publicly share data in meaningful ways. Formerly known as Google Data Studio, Looker Studio is an online data visualization platform that makes reports easier to create and understand. It is a free tool, although there is a pro version available at cost, that turns your data into informative, easy to read, easy to share, and fully customizable dashboards and reports. Looker Studio can help you tell a story with your data using various visualizations, such as line, bar, and pie charts, geomaps, area and bubble graphs, pivot tables, and more. Reports can be made interactive with viewer filters, such as lookup boxes and date range controls. Additionally, you can do things like annotate and brand reports with text and images, or apply styles and color themes that make your data stories more appealing to your audience. Why might Looker Studio be helpful for Part C and Part B 619 data leaders? The Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, requires states to report a variety of data to the public each year. Specifically, Section 618 of IDEA requires states to make available to the public data for 12 required collections. Section 616 of IDEA requires states to make their state performance plans and annual performance reports available to the public with detailed data on the implementation of Part C and Part B programs. This includes data showing whether the overall state and each of its local jurisdictions met measurable and rigorous targets described in their state performance plan, as well as determinations findings on progress in meeting the requirements of the federal statute. These public reporting requirements are part of ongoing efforts to provide family and other stakeholders with information about how states implement IDEA to improve outcomes for infants, toddlers, children, and youth with disabilities. To fulfill its public reporting requirements, Arizona's Part C program has used Looker Studio to create an interactive dashboard. Using a streamlined navigation format with top navigation tabs and numerous different types of data displays and filters on each page, public users can view and customize data visualizations to find out more about how the state and local jurisdictions are performing with regard to implementing the early intervention program. Now that you have some background on what Looker Studio is and how it can be used to support states with meeting IDEA's public reporting requirements, let's take a closer look at the basic features and navigation of the tool. Something to note up front is that you must have a Google account to create and manage reports using Looker Studio. You can sign up for a free account online. Before doing so, it is important to check with your agency's IT department about any restrictions they may have for employees using Google products. After you have created your Google account and logged on to Looker Studio, you are taken to the home page where you see that the tool is organized into what are called 3 different types of assets: reports, data sources, and Explorer. Let's look at each of these in a little more depth and talk about how they are used. The home page defaults to the reports view, where you will see a list of all the reports to which you have access. These may be reports that you created yourself or ones that have been shared with you by other Looker Studio users. From this view, you can create a new blank report, or you can start with one of the pre-built report templates. An in-depth collection of editing features are used to build reports off of selected sources of data, including adding things like charts, graphs, tables, and maps, as well as text annotations, shapes, and images. Various report controls can be added to further drill down and display data in different ways. Multiple reports can be combined into interactive dashboards for sharing. When you share a report, the report owner decides who can see the data in that report and whether they can modify the report or simply just view it. Looker Studio allows you to turn your data into over a dozen different types of visualizations, such as bar, line, scatterplot, pie, and funnel charts, as well as tables, word clouds, and heat maps. These visualizations can be used to help you display data in more comprehensible ways. Each type of visualization has different settings that can be used to customize its appearance even further. When presented with effective visualizations, data are engaging, relevant, and meaningful to stakeholders. They can become more than just a set of numbers and instead transform into compelling evidence an answer to a focused question, or a call to action. Reports are built off of data sources, the second main asset in Looker Studio. From this page, users can manage the specific kinds of data to visualize in reports. You can connect data to Looker Studio from a variety of Google and non-Google sources, such as Google Sheets, Google Analytics, and Microsoft SQL Server databases. Obviously, using different types of connectors comes with different technical requirements. Some connectors require more sophisticated access authorization and configuration, which will likely require support from your agency's IT staff. For the purposes of this video tutorial series, we will focus on using Google Sheets as the connector mechanism for adding a data set to Looker Studio reports. Once you have added a data source, you can enhance or modify various aspects of it, such as renaming or duplicating fields, creating calculated fields, changing the way data are aggregated, or changing field data types. A user with the appropriate credentials can control what other users have access to editing a data source. This includes being able to share reports that use a data source without giving any report viewers or editors access to the underlying data set. The last asset in Looker Studio, which is a new tool in beta stage of its development designed to help users find insights faster, it's called Explorer. It streamlines the data visualization creation, editing, and viewing experience. It's considered a scratch pad of sorts for thinking through the visualizations that you may want to include in a report. These explorations are temporary unless you save them to a report, though. They are also private to you, so only you can see them. You can't share them with other people. There's currently no way to share explorations directly. However, you can export explorations to reports to share them indirectly. That concludes the overview of Looker Studio's purpose, potential uses, and main features and navigation. In the next video in the tutorial series, we will walk through the basic workflow for using Looker Studio and building a simple report. In the meantime, if you want to learn more on your own, you can check out the robust collection of Looker Studio online supports. Among these resources is a quick start guide, step-by-step how-to guide, and more in-depth tutorials on specific features. As always, if you would like more information or to request individualized technical assistance with using Looker Studio to enhance your public reporting, don't hesitate to reach out to your DAISY liaison. Liaisons welcome questions as well as TA requests. If you are unsure of the contact information or name of your liaison, you can access it on the DAISY website. Thank you again for joining us, and we hope you view the second video in the series.